Watching. So I'm back at it again, working on my stock market stream. Let me show you really briefly where I'm at. So this is my third stream today, so I'm not going to go through everything. If you want to know everything, comment and I can go through more stuff. But basically, this is the outline for the model. I have two goals. One, I want to make a model and portfolio strategy that beats the S&P 500 by a significant margin. And number two, I want to the code that I'm using, I want to make a usable Python tool so anyone can create their own advanced models for themselves without having to start the analysis from scratch, like is typical. And this sort of tool I wasn't able to find, so I want to make my own. And so this is the GitHub repository right here. There's instructions on how to use it. Go ahead, download it, try it out for yourself, and let me know how it goes. If you join the Discord, which is in the description, you can let me know there. And we also talk about all sorts of stuff in there. Also, it helps me out if you star the repository. Fork it if you want. That'll make the repository look better and you can make your own changes. It helps me out if you watch it, and it helps me out if you follow me on GitHub. And of course, it helps me out if you subscribe to me here on YouTube. So this is the outline for the model. So I have data. I want to create a stock universe from the data. So basically you don't want to train it on all data that you have. You don't want stuff like penny stocks or low volume stocks. That'll mess up the model. So once you get a good stock universe, I'm going to use that to train the returns model. I'm basically searching for a successful returns model. I finally found one that seems to work pretty well, and so now I'm trying to fine tune and refine it. And then once I have a really good returns model that I'm confident in, I'm going to feed that into a portfolio model, which will allocate money based on that. And once I have the portfolio model working, I'm going to paper trade for a month with the model. And if that works well, I'm going to go live and use real money in it. So this is the first iteration of the model. Like I said, I'm not going to go over everything, but the key here is I did find a strategy that worked. If I'm picking the lowest end number of stocks by projected volatility, if I pick 500, I'm underperforming the S&P, 100, I'm matching the S&P, 20, I'm beating the S&P, and 1, I'm beating it by a significant margin. But the only one of these methods that returned a positive Sharpe ratio above 1 was picking one stock per day. And then also I tried thresholding it, and I was able to increase the Sharpe ratio up above 2.5. But that was only picking one stock per day, and to get the 2.5, I had to threshold it at 54%. And if I increased the threshold to 55%, it wasn't making any picks. So for those reasons, I had really not. I had a fragile model that wasn't robust, and it wasn't going to work well in all regimes, and it risked losing a lot of money. And so basically what I had to do was go through and try all sorts of different targets, features, methods for getting the universe, and methods for training the model. And then different portfolio strategies. The problem was the code base was a huge mess, as you can see here at left, so I had to make a new script every time I wanted to do anything. That wasn't going to be usable for me, and it wasn't going to be in accordance with the second goal because it wasn't going to be usable for anyone else either. And so I went through and I cleaned up the database. So this I finished in January. This really took all of February, cleaning up the model. I added all of these features. The key here is these are only features using price data. But after I added all of these, I was able to look at the model. I got not a very successful model at first. I found some different metrics I want to look at rather than just directional accuracy. So that model I just showed was getting about 51.5% directional accuracy here, this model. And so I needed to go through and improve that. But like I said, I found some better metrics. I found some interesting things like here, if I'm looking out into the future, if I look N days into the future, the further out I'm looking into the future, the better the model performs. And so I got a really good model here. So you can see the directional accuracy doesn't matter as much, but the information coefficient was really good. Information coefficient standard deviation was about 4 times the information coefficient. Which is good. That's in accordance with published papers that you see here. The standard deviation of the information coefficient is larger than the information coefficient by 3 to 13 times in these studies. And so information coefficient 4 times higher, the standard deviation being 4 times higher was perfectly in accordance with that. The information coefficient to information ratio, I wanted to get 0.02 to 0.03. I was getting 0.22, so that was really good. And on an annual basis, I was getting 1.58, so that was really good. And finally, the robust T statistic, I wanted to get 1.96, and I was able to get 2.3. And so this also, if you look at the decile analysis, so if you split it, this is the lowest 10%, 10 to 20%, 20 to 30%, so on and so forth, all the way up to 90 to 100%. You see that basically this should look like a staircase, and it's not perfect, but it's really good. And you can see that the bottom decile is basically opposite of the top decile. And so overall, this is a really good model that's hitting every metric that I want. And doing everything I want, but I want to go through and basically ruthlessly analyze it to see if I can improve this at all. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I achieved this on Thursday, and so the next week or two I'm going to be working on trying to ruthlessly criticize and improve this model. I tried trimming the features, improving this by trimming the features. So the first thing was looking at a correlation matrix and looking at correlated features. I found pairs of correlated features, and I removed the one of the pair that had a higher correlation to the rest of the data set. It turns out that none of these methods were really useful at improving the data. Not only did I try that, I also tried principal component analysis, which is basically you find correlated features and make a single feature to synthesize them. That performed worse. I tried a shadow feature method, which is creating shadow features for each feature and then randomizing the data in them. And then removing features that perform worse than the best shadow feature. And none of these improved the method. Then I walked through feature by feature and tried to remove each one of the highly correlated features, so above 75%. And I found that all of these made the model worse on every metric except log ATR and stochastic oscillator. Improved the information coefficient metric, but they made every other metric worse. And so basically what that means is that it's improving the returns of the model while sacrificing the model stability, which is not something that I want to do. And so these are my to-dos that I'm trying to do to improve the model. Yellow is still left to do. Green I have done. And so right now I'm working on adding fundamental features. So I've already got the fundamental data. I need to go through and add the features. So that's what I'm going to be doing tonight. Anything else? No, I think that's about it. So let me put a comment into the chat real quick, and then we'll get rolling on this model. So last stream I asked Google AI to write me a function for the fundamental engine, and so this is getting all of the fundamental features that I've put here, except for the fundamental features that require except those that require price data. So all of these, oh no, none of those, but all of these, return on equity, return on assets, so on and so forth. And basically I need to split this into different features because the features that are calculated on the price data, we have data for every day over about 15 years. And so that's going to be a huge data set. The good thing about price data is although it has, so many rows for, I think there's like 5,000 tickers there's like 8,000 tickers. And then every day going back to 2011, that's going to be a ton of rows, but there are only 5 columns, open, high, low, close, volume, and date. So 6 columns. The problem is these fundamental features, if I add them to the stock data, the price data set, I'll have to put one for every day in the market and also every ticker. So it's still going to have about 2 million rows the price data has, but now instead of just 5 columns, it's going to have like 90 columns. So that's going to be way too many columns, and the data set's going to that's going to be like a 15x increase in the data set size, and so I can't really do that. So I'm going to need I have the feature engine to calculate price features, but now I need this engine to calculate fundamental features. And so this is gonna basically kind of change how the logic works for the model. And so instead of just defining all features at once, I'll have to define them separately, and then write functions into the model which perform separately, or write some logic into the model which kind of parses out which feature is which. Yeah, so I have these fundamental features, fundamental engine, and this should calculate everything. So let me actually send this. So I've been using Google AI Studio, which is really good, but Claude is better. The problem with Claude is you have to pay for it, but you can get some requests without paying for it. So shut up, get out of here. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to see it, but okay, whatever. Here is my script for pulling fundamental features from my data. Look at the logic for each feature and tell me whether or not it is correct, and tell me why. At the end of your analysis, give me a table which summarizes everything. Here's the code. Okay, good. So what is that? That's momentum. So in growth factors, inputs. Yeah, so the input should be the same. So what does the fundamental data set look like again? Okay, these are all the things I have, so if I'm doing year-over-year growth, okay, so I think I actually want to change this because, okay, so we have all fundamentals. All right, so we'll say yearly fundamentals is equal to fun dot, so fun where fun dot period is equal to year. And then quarterly fundamentals, fun where fun dot period is equal to quarter. All right, then we could say quarterly fun dot to feather. Oh, I don't want to add this stuff. Let me look at the GitHub to make sure this isn't being added. Oh, good. I'm ignoring everything in data, so this is just all local. So you'll still be able to compute this stuff, if you run the data frame yourself, or run the data yourself and from the instructions in the GitHub. So quarterly fundamentals dot feather, and then we could say yearly fun dot to feather, annual fundamentals dot feather. Okay, good. No, this is just crap, so we'll just say you need to pass in quarterly data. Again, crap. More crap. Hey, buddy. Why is this white? Why is this stuff all white? What the hell? All right. Okay, so we fixed the fundamental momentum features. Write me a function which corrects the quick ratio. Okay. So let's put this in. Okay, so I want to know if that's a good strategy. So the problem is that fundamental features are going to be, the where I get stuck is fundamental features that include price, because I'm going to need to pull both data sets at once. Um, and I really can't think of an easy way to pass this into feature engine, because without changing everything and making it a lot slower when it's just doing price features, yeah, I can't really think of a way to do that. Um, So I need to kind of add some logic in here. So I have feature engine, I have fundamental engine. So I just changed the fundamental engine. So let me add that to the GitHub. So, oh, I need to save that. So fundamental engine. And then what else do I need to do? Fundamental engine. For combining price, fundamental, and hybrid features. So fundamental engine, does that include the... Okay. So now we could say, look at the two scripts, fundamental engine.py and feature engine.py. I want the fundamental engine to use the same logic as the feature engine. For instance, adding _t to targets and _f to features. I also want it to determine whether whether it's a target or a feature we're looking at based on the shift. Yeah, so how should the shift work? How should the shift work? I don't want to predict what the values. Hey, Miko. Miko CEO. Are you a CEO? What's your company? You should hire me. Are you a quant company? I don't want to predict what the values will be for the next quarter. Just the next day, or however many days out my target is. Do you think this is an efficient strategy to improve my model? I want to add fundamental features for every day to my model. Do you think this is a good strategy? Another strategy is to predict the next quarterly report based on past data. In the latter strategy, I will have two models, a fundamental model and a price model. I will then feed both of these into my portfolio model, which determines moves based on the model ensemble. Which strategy is more desirable? Yeah, so if you're watching, please subscribe. Go to the GitHub, star it, watch it, follow me on GitHub, join the Discord. All that stuff helps me out a lot, except for the Discord, which I just think would be fun if, we got some interesting discussions going in the Discord. So I'd really like people to join it, and we could talk about stuff, stock market, politics, philosophy, ideas, physics, anything you guys think is interesting. All right, strategy 1. Here's why strategy 1 wins. Feature interactions. If you use two separate models, they cannot learn from each other, but in a single model, LightGBM can find nonlinear interactions across domains. For example, it might learn that high price momentum. Okay, blah, 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 blah. How should shift work for fundamentals? Because fundamental reports are sparse, only 4 per year, you should calculate pure fundamental features on the sparse quarterly data set before you merge it into the price data set. You mentioned not wanting to predict next quarter's values. If your target is a daily price return, you should not generate the target in the fundamental engine. Oh, yes. Well, yes. That'll be fine, actually. I won't have any targets in the fundamental engine. But it should add F to all of the features. Better off alone. Okay, so I'm going to say change this around again. All features, all fundamental values I calculate will be features, and none will be targets. Running through my head, running through my head. So they'll all be features, not targets. Take out the shift as an argument, but add underscore F into the name for the features, which are calculated. All the things she said running through my head, running through my head, running through my head. All the things she said, things she said, running through my head, running through my head. All right, so in the logic for the feature pipeline, features and targets. So we could just say self dot features and targets is equal to features and targets. Then we could say define compute self. So let's see what this function does. So this computes all features depending on their type. So first, let's say define sort. We'll just say sort self, and then at the end of this we could say sorted is equal to true. Self.sorted. Okay, that'll go in at the end. So then we'll say sort the features based on their type. So the three types we have are fundamental, price, and hybrid, which is price plus fundamental, and then we can say, for example, EPS, earnings per share. And then at the end, we're going to say self.sorted equals true. So then we'll say, self.fundamental features are equal to empty list, self.price features are equal to an empty list, and then we can say self.hybrid features. Hey, Refont. Is that how I say it? Refont or is it Refant? I think it's Refont is what I'm assuming. How are you? What are you up to? Okay, hybrid features is an empty list. And then at the end we say self.sorted equals true. So we're going to say for item in self.features and targets. How do we get the Python get type of object? Is instance, oh, okay. Type my dog is animal. Okay, so if we say in is instance, it'll get the superclass too. Refont, nice, I nailed it. Why even second guess myself, right? Just like with this model. Well, with the model, you want to second guess yourself. That's actually what I'm good at. That's why this is going well for me, because I second guess everything. I'm never confident in anything. So if I'm never confident in the model, I should get a good model. You need a good amount of paranoia. Okay, so is instance. I just want to make sure that works. So let's get out of here. Get out of there. We could say here Python 3. So then let's make a feature from feature engine. From feature engine, import everything. Okay, then let's make a feature. So Model Explorer, where are you? There it is. Okay. Let's put this guy in. We'll say type of Stoke. I'm having LLMs build a trading strategy and trying to outcompete one another and improving the baseline. Wait, let me think about that. You're having LLMs build a trading strategy, so different language models build a trading strategy. Oh, so you're doing like, that's the agents, right? You're doing different LLM agents and trying to outcompete one another and improve it. So how's that going? How long have you been doing that for? When did you start? Are they competing right now, or are you like building it? And how do you like build agents? What's like the best way to do that? I want to make agents to like test this model and try to break it and stuff. And then, oh, that's pretty exciting. There's going to be, so penetration testing is going to go away, right? You could just have an army of agents do penetration testing. Why would you ever hire a cybersecurity guy? Which is great. I had a cybersecurity job for a little bit, and then they fired me because the guy said you're either not as smart as I thought you were, or you're lazy, which really hurt me in my heart because I knew I was being lazy. So I don't care if anyone thinks I'm not smart, but if they think I'm lazy, it was true. It was true. I was being lazy. So anyway, at least that makes me feel good. I had a natural inclination to be lazy on it. It didn't feel it felt pointless. Using open code. Oh, you just started tonight. Wow. So are you doing it right now? I've never heard of open code before. All right. I want to soon down. Oh, it's open AI. Do you have to pay for this though? This guy. I don't want to let it change my GitHub is the problem. Should I just let it? Hey, speaking of, you should star this repository, watch it, and follow me, because that helps me out. And also subscribe and join the Discord. We're going to talk about interesting stuff there. I'm trying to get people to join. A fair amount of people have joined. Let's see. Can I see how many people are in it? This is the Discord. Yeah, so we talked a little bit, but about the Iran war. I think that's really interesting, but not much talking. Can you see how many people are in a server? I've never done anything on Discord before, so I really don't know anything about it. Who are these people? I don't know. I could count. There's like 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, so we have 12 people. But no one really talks much in there, so it'd be good to get a conversation going. Sorry, I'm just blabbing, so let me get back to business. Oh, that's ChatGPT. Open code lets you use any model. So what did, so I got fooled by Google. Sponsored results. I got tricked. Open source AI coding agent. Free models included, or connect any model from provider. Okay, how do I use it? Oh, I need to get it on my command line? Oh, to view how many people. The people icon. Oh, this. Oh, yeah, so these are the... Oh, look, there's 2 people online. Sir Night Night and Taylor, whoever the hell that is. All right, so what was I doing? Oh, yeah. I'm trying to make this logic, but is instance... So feature request. So is instance, it was feeling so free. CLI or via localhost. So probably I should use the command line interface. I mean, that would... people keep telling me to use the command line interface, but I've been afraid to do it, but I think that's really going to accelerate my progress. So where the hell did my notes go? What the hell? Oh, here's some notes. So I'm going to look into that tomorrow. One more time. All right, so what's it called? Open code? Open code CLI. Open code. One more time. All right. So we want to say is instance feature request. So is Stoke a feature request? Soch Stoke. Which is highly recommended? The open code in general, or the CLI, or the app? Alright, so if it's a feature request, so then what did I call the other one? A fundamental request? Fundamental request. So for each item, if is instance item, and so if it's a from the CLI, it can modify your files for you. No more copy and paste. I don't want to just let it modify my files though, because sometimes it makes mistakes. And the other thing is, I don't really understand what it's doing. So, I mean, do you have any experience with it? Do you just let it modify your files, and does it always work every time? Aren't you afraid of it fucking something up? Okay, so if is instance item feature request. So if the feature is a feature request, we're gonna say self dot fundamental features dot append item. Else elif is instance item fundamental request. Okay, so here I'm gonna say import feature request. Oh no. From feature engine, import everything. From fundamental engine, import everything. Okay. Now we can say, so now we've got the feature requests, we've got the fundamental request, self dot, no, not fundamental features, price features. And then we could say self dot funda. So if it is a fundamental request, we want to say fundamental features dot append item. All right, cool. Okay, then it's sorted. So then we could say inside of compute, we want to say if self dot sorted is equal to false. So if we haven't sorted it yet, go ahead and sort it. Okay, features and targets should be a list. So a list of all the features and targets we want. Okay, so first we compute it. Okay, and then we want to, let's add some booleans here. So we'll say self dot has price features. We're gonna default that to false. And same thing with self dot has fundamental features. Default that to false. And then when we're sorting, do that, then compute if self dot sorted equals false, sort it, and then we can say if self dot has fundamental features is equal to true, we want to say okay, so we also want to pass in a data frame. Oh, more comments. Yep, from CLI. You just have to manage the scope you give to it. Like your sort function you're working on, you can just give it high-level data for it and help you write it. It makes more mistakes if you let it. Yeah, if you let it write the entire app, I imagine it would quickly devolve into madness. Yeah, but if you do one function at a time, it would save loads of time. But honestly, using this hybrid technique I'm using right now, honestly, really isn't taking that long. Um, I mean, I really don't feel like I have too much left to do. If I felt like I had a lot left to do, I would do that. But honestly, if you were, I don't know if you saw the beginning of the stream where I explained this, but let me show you real quick where I'm at. So, I've already coded all of this stuff in here. So this is kind of like a lot. So this, for instance, is what I have to get all of the price features. And so I'm really happy with this, and I'm confident that it works. I'm confident everything works right now. And then also when I'm training the model, trying to predict returns, I'm getting these results, which is really good. So I'm hitting my threshold that I want to hit on every single metric: information coefficient, ratio of information coefficient to information, standard deviation of the information coefficient, and the t statistic. Those are all above the threshold that I want. And then also, if you look at this decile function, or the decile analysis, it's not a perfect staircase, but the lowest deciles are certainly underperforming the highest deciles. And then if you're just picking buying the top 10% and selling the bottom 10%. So, shorting the bottom 10% and buying the top 10%. The annual Sharpe ratio is 1.92. So that's really good, I believe. What annual Sharpe ratio is considered sufficient for a stock model? I believe you want above 1. Well, 2 or higher is viewed as very good or excellent. So it's almost 2. And I'm trying to basically improve this. So I tried trimming features. I tried lots of different methods for that, and I couldn't get any of that to work, or really to improve the model. The only thing I found is I was able to improve the information coefficient if I removed log ATR and stochastic oscillator, but then it made it worse on every other metric, which basically means that we're sacrificing stability to squeeze out a little bit more performance, and that's really no good. So now I'm looking at incorporating fundamental features to improve the model. I have a few more things to do here, but I really don't feel like I have that much to do. So I kind of want to go through and finish this model as it is, or the code as it is, and improve this model. I think adding fundamental features will really improve it. And then I need to add like sector information. Interest rates is going to be important. Volatility index is going to be important. So yeah, once I have that, I'll be confident in my model. And then, what I really want to use this command line AI tool for is for cleaning up this database and making it really robust, writing some unit tests for it to make sure everything works, and just making it easy for people to use when they compile it on their computer. Um, yeah, so um, where are we? Oh yeah, writing this. So the other thing is, the AI is helpful. Maybe it would do this in like, 30 seconds instead of me taking like 20 minutes to do it. But the thing is, if I'm coding it myself, I have it in my head. I understand each part of it. And if AI did it, I don't really understand what it's doing. I just have something that seems to work, which is basically like using like a repository that somebody else built. So I really feel like this is a much more robust way for me to do it, because then I'll understand every part of it. And then I want to use AI to like write the unit tests and stuff. Um, okay, so if I haven't sorted it, go ahead and sort it. If it has fun to... Oh, so what I'm stuck on right now is... Um, okay, so I'll just add 2 data frames. So price df defaults to none. It should be pandas data frame. And then here we could say, I think it's because pandas was already imported in feature engine and fundamental engine, but I'm just going to go ahead and do this here. Import pandas as PD. How are you approaching fundamentals? Yeah, I know what you mean. You keep the mental model. Yeah, that's kind of like the big struggle I've been having with AI is it's useful for like writing really concise things, kind of like you said. But then, yeah, I lose the mental model if I'm having it write too much. What I kind of like doing right now is honestly, I'm used to I've been writing code for years for work, so I'm used to like 5 years of writing code, but it's all like hacking things together. I'm totally self-taught, and so I kind of just jumped into it at work. And so this is already just the AI as I'm using it right now, just feeding it to the model, copying and pasting is such an insane improvement for me. It's making things happen so much faster that I don't even feel like I want a faster improvement. And that's not really a bottleneck to me. The bottleneck is having something that I know works. If I have to spend more time doing it, I don't really mind. What do you mean, how am I approaching fundamentals? Like, how am I using them? How am I getting them? How do I decide what fundamentals I want? I have this list of fundamentals here, and I basically have put every single fundamental feature I want to calculate. This is exactly how I did it for the price data features. So this is like everything. And I've added some of them, but I need to make sure that they're working. Some of them are really honestly so simple, I don't really need to make sure that it works. I just need to like test it. But some of them are, I don't know, I haven't looked at it that much, but if it's a little more complicated, I want to like make a plot of it and then like look at how it looks. But basically, this is what I did for the price data features. Is before looking at the model, I added every single feature that I want and kind of went from there. And so that uh, the model that I have that performs really well, this is using only price features. And so I'm thinking if I add fundamentals features to it as well, I could really increase performance. Um, so yeah. Okay, so now when we're computing, first we sort. So then we have price df, which is a pandas data frame, and that's going to default to none. And then we have fundamentals df. That's also a pandas data frame, and that's also going to default to none. Okay, so what else now? Okay, so if we have fundamental features, and then if we say if type of price df is equal to type none, we're going to raise exception. Oh no, this is if has price features equals true. Okay, so this is actually pretty good because the way I'm doing it right now is I'll be able to. So I have fundamental features, I have price features, but then also I'm going to have like kind of some weird fundamental features. So if you look at the data set here, there's like EPS estimate. Which updates every week instead of every quarter. So I have fundamentals, which are updating every quarter with the quarterly report. I have price data, which is updating every day. But then I have this data, which updates every week. And so that's kind of weird. Also, I just realized that's only going back to 2018. So, when does, aha. Okay, so this does go back to 2012. Balance sheet assets, balance sheet equity. I forgot to check this before. Goes back to 2012. Balance sheet liabilities goes back to 2012. All these are going back to October 2012. Cash flow statement, we're getting October 2012. Oh no. Aha, so the quarterly data is actually way less. So I'm going to have to think about this. Okay, so I'm going to say I only have quarterly report data, which goes back to what? What was that? 2023? So you're okay. Quarter 2023 back to 2023. the model which performs so well goes back to 2011. What should I do? Does this mean it would be useful to use two different models? Honestly, if it's just going back to 2023, I don't know how I'm gonna, get this to work. I need to know now. Know now. Will you love me again? Yeah, the sample size sucks. Okay, so I might incorporate that on paper trading. This is kind of a big pain in the ass problem that I just thought of. Residual overlay. Instead of having the fundamental data predict your stock return, you train the fundamental model to predict mistakes of your price model. So first train the price model, run the price model on the 2023 to 2026 time frame, calculate the residual error for those 3 years. Okay. Train your fundamental model where the features are your fundamental engine outputs and the target is the residual. So I'm trying to doing fundamental model to predict the residual. Signal blend's a lot easier than build feature pipeline. So I still want to work on doing these fundamental features, but this kind of changes what my strategy is going to be. And honestly, this really sucks. I mean, honestly, if I add fundamental features, that'll be a huge improvement. But oh man. So let's say here. Look. Okay, so let me just see if I can find a data set. Fundamental stock feature data set. This is just so much stuff. I don't know. Between us two. All right. I don't know. Okay, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and add the fundamental features. Oh, man. Yeah, I want to incorporate all... I mean, nothing's going to really change from the code perspective. Okay. By the way, if you're watching, if you just joined, please subscribe. That helps me out. Go to the GitHub. It's in the description. Star it, follow it, watch it, follow me on GitHub, and join the Discord. Okay. So when we're computing, we want to say if it has price features. If we don't have a data frame, raise an exception. Otherwise, if we do have a data frame, let's put this back here. So this could actually just be if, indent that, and then we'll say elif self dot has fundamental features is equal to true. Do this guy. And honestly, I mean, what's it saying to do here again? I mean, I'm thinking maybe I could just start testing this. Testing my existing model. I mean, I can't really think even of a reason not to right now. I need some better music. Also, comment if you have any suggestions for music suggestions. Across from the river and beside the Great Lake. Alright, so best solutions. Massive mismatch. Here's a breakdown of why this happens, the traps to avoid, and the 2 best strategies to solve it. Okay, so if we go back to here, I do have some more things to add. The problem is I don't know how to add what sector a stock is in. How do I add sector data to my stocks, to my stock data set? I want a column which contains the name of the sector for any given stock. Carnival rides. And the carnival barker yells your name for a bribe. The world's for love and Japanese cars. It ain't rare to hear the streetlights call themselves stars.
Good night, streamer.
Good night.
See you in the morning. Good night, Ledster.
See you tomorrow.
Hey, have a
Is
good
Dad
sleep.
going to bed?
Yep.
Good night, Dad.
See you in the morning.
See you then.
Buddy, you don't want to come out this morning.
Come on, buddy. I'll let him back in. He usually whines for me to let him back in. I'm gonna go grab a seltzer water real quick. I'm gonna get a seltzer anyway. It ain't rare to hear the streetlights call themselves stars. I'm the ugliest man you'll ever meet. Come on, buddy. Alright, I'll leave it a little open for you. It ain't rare to hear the streetlights call themselves stars. I'm the ugliest man you'll ever meet. I come from loneliness and miles and misery and tons. Headed man rowing away from the shore. Ugliest man that you'll ever meet. Okay, so in retrieve data, can you just get fetch sector data? So let's add a new script. Get sector data.py. For each symbol in the full data set. Full ETF free data set. Secoter. And then I'm gonna, let's pose 2 more questions in our big PowerPoint. So I hit a roadblock with the fundamental data. And there's no real way to incorporate it into the model because it's only going back to 2023. So I need a better data source or something. Does adding sector feature to model improve results? does creating a different model. So let's actually ask first, which would be more efficient? Creating a different, which would be more successful? Obviously, one would be more efficient. Which would be more successful? Creating a different model for each sector, or adding sector as a column in the data frame as a feature to the model. I'm the ugliest man you'll ever meet. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Okay, let's delete this then. Does adding a sector feature to the model improve the results? LightGBM already builds submodels internally. Okay, cool. Universal roles versus sector roles. Some features are universal, some are sector specific. Hey, Global. How are you? What's going on in your world? No, I'm not a dev in real life. I do physics research. I don't have a PhD though. My official position title is research associate. But it's kind of a weird spot to be because everybody I work with is either a PhD student, a postdoc, so people who already have their PhD, scientists, who are, that's like the level beyond postdoc, but they don't want to go into being professors, and then professors. So everybody I work with either has a PhD or they're working on one, and I don't have one, which puts me in a really weird position and makes kind of career progression hard. So I might end up having to get a PhD someday. My hope is I could just put my head down and plug through it. And, you know, the ideal of science is that a PhD is really an original contribution to your field, is the whole point of the whole thing. So my hope is I could make some original contributions to my field, and then, you know, I could just gain respect and stuff without a PhD. But the problem with academia is they kind of don't respect you if you don't have a PhD in lots of ways. But that's fine. I'm used to it. I'm a weirdo. That's what I like. I like being an outsider. And really, I think, yeah, it's just, it goes with all my philosophy, not getting a PhD, but it makes my life hard in some ways. Anyway, I end up coding a lot for work. Like I got hired originally by a shock physics lab, and they hired me to code models for them. And basically, I just done a bunch of coding for fun in college and embellished my coding skills. You know, then got thrown in the fire. And but if you're making coding models for scientists, none of them really like coding very much. So if you write their code for them, they think you're like a genius and they love you. So that's kind of how I got my foot in the door. And what you need coding for is analysis. So if you're good at coding, you can kind of, if you understand the coding and then you understand the physics, and then right now actually my job changed. I don't really do too much coding for work anymore. I'm working in a lab, hands-on stuff in a laser lab. So um, I kind of have all aspects of it now: the coding, the actual experiments, performing the experiments, setting up diagnostics and stuff, and then interpreting the data. I just have to, write papers because I'm pretty bad at that. Um, okay, does adding sector feature to the model improve the results? And then does sector neutralization? And that's actually going to be pretty hard to do, but that's okay. All right, so first we need to add the sector data, then I could go through and do stuff. On the south side of heaven, won't you take me home? 'Cause I've been gone down for so long and the motor's getting cold. Here it's almost 8 a.m. Oh, you're Italian? Cool, man. I work with an Italian guy. He's cool. I like the Italians. I only know one Italian, but he's cool. So it's cool you're from Italy. Here it's 8 a.m. in Italy. I have a meeting with a French guy tomorrow, and it's 8 a.m. my time because that's about when he's off work. What time is it here? Oh, 11:45 p.m. Oh, you made a new model? Nice. Training and letting it run on indexes to see if it works or not. So what, are you trading like the European stock market or SPX or something? Do you guys have like one big EU stock market, or does each country have a different stock market? And what's the best European stock market? I think the dollar's going to fall, so I'm looking for other places to put my money, but investing in the U.S. stock market's easy. Investing in other stock markets, I guess there's a learning curve, and I find it intimidating, so I've never done it. But, if you look at like growth in international markets, it seems to do better. But actually, I take it back because I actually, no offense, I don't want to invest in Europe. I want to invest in like Southeast Asia and Africa. Do you know how to invest in those markets? Because that would be really cool. But you could kind of, I think also getting data from other markets kind of helps your model, right? Because I only have NYSE data, but I think it would be good to get some other data. So it's, info.get sector unknown. So what does that mean? Let's just see if we got it. So, all right. So then we could get the data. So df is equal to pd.read. I'll just copy it from here. Where is it? Model Explorer. So let's get the data. I don't want universe data. Okay, whatever. I'll just do it in here. pd.read feather, and we're gonna read // data / all ohlcv dot feather. Right, that's what it's called. All ohlcv, no ETFs. I'm using multi-time frame. 1 hour. Oh. Wow, 1 hour and 5 minutes. So where are you getting your data from? Minute data. The problem is that you may hold a losing position more than necessary. Well, you don't want that, do you? Okay, then I'll say tickers is equal to df dot account symbol dot unique and then we'll say sectors is equal to fetch sector data of tickers. And then I'll just put the debugger in here so we could kind of look at this. You could get it from a broker. With MetaTrader 5, it's a Python script that pulls all the data from the app. You could make it with a demo account too if the broker holds the data. So that's what other people have said, getting it from a broker. Kind of one of the constraints for the model that I'm making, since I want to make it useful for anyone, is I want to use data that they can just install locally with a script that I write. So I'm using this database here, which updates every single day. The problem is it's kind of short on fundamental data, and it's short. I mean, there's no minute or hour data. So, do you think if I add that stuff like minute or hour data, I could I mean, if you get it from the broker, is it free and is it easy to automate, or do you have to like request it through some process and have a user? I assume you have to be a user of the broker. What do you think? Is that going to constrain me? So now we'll do Python 3 get sector data. So what's today? Today's the 15th. So let me see. I'm doing really well. You know, this time last week on the 8th, I had 315 subscribers. Up to 320 by the 9th. So it's about to be 1 week from the 9th. And I'll be at 352. So what's that? 32 subscribers in a week? That might be my best week ever. Oh my gosh. So I'm getting errors. I hope I don't get too many, but let's see how this runs. And then let's look at the GitHub. What did I add? Get sector data, feature pipeline. Added script for feature pipeline, which is capable of handling both price and fundamental features. It's free. You have to be a user. The script could run from one time to many times a day if you need it for training. Mine kind of trains on older, and it is looked for some time so models don't override the decisions. Okay, well, I could be a user anywhere. Is it free? Do you have to pay to be a user? Or if you're just a user, they'll let you request data? I guess that's what the guy was saying. I have a Robinhood account, and people say Robinhood sucks, but I haven't figured out why. But I guess is that the reason? Because you want to be able to get that data? Um, Added script for uh, including sector information, but I don't know if it works. Clean analysis, I added a line. Okay, whatever. Hey, if you're watching and you aren't subscribed, please subscribe. That really helps me. Also, please go to the GitHub repository. It's linked in the description. It's this repository here. It really helps me out if you star the repository, watch the repository, and follow me on GitHub. Also, you should join the Discord here. We talk about all sorts of interesting stuff. Okay, come on, man. This is taking forever. Yeah, so I'm gonna see how this runs. But it's getting late here. It's almost midnight, so that's all I'm gonna work on for today. That'll be the end of this stream. So I'm trying to add sectors right now. I kind of got stuck on adding fundamental features because the data only goes back to 2023. So I'm gonna need a better data source, or need to just incorporate that into the portfolio part to try to determine if the price model is giving some error. I need to work on further analysis of the price model, doing this stuff. It has to be a broker for MetaTrader 5. So you interact with the app on your PC. Oh, so MetaTrader is an app. All right, I'm going to look that up. Yeah, but anyway, I'm going to go through and try these different things. So fundamentals I kind of got stuck on. Maybe I'll make a fundamental model. I'll try incorporating fundamentals into the model, but since I have 2023, 24, and 25, and then, the first quarter, I guess, of 26, I really don't know if this is going to work. I also need to residualize the target with beta, neutralize the target with beta. Currently, I'm neutralizing it with respect to market movement, but I want to neutralize with respect to volatility. I need to add some macro features, so really the volatility index, interest rates, and credit spreads. I need to get the model to actually save. I'm not caring about this right now. Right now, I'm working on adding sector information, so if I could get this to work, I think it'll improve the model substantially. I need to add some risk factors as a metric for the model. So when I'm looking at the metrics, currently I'm looking at information coefficient, standard deviation of the information coefficient to information ratio, and the T statistic. So I also need to add borrow risk factors. I need to define market regimes and kind of test it over like a pure bear region and see how it does. That's really what I'm worried about right now is we're going to hit a huge serious market downturn in the upcoming months, and I don't want to lose the money in my model. I want to interpret the regime metrics, check for overfit bias. And also I'm considering breaking up the data and then training a bear market model and then training a bull market model. And then once I have all this done, I'll be a lot more confident in my model. I'll add a portfolio strategy for kind of making picks on the model. And then what else am I going to do? Add a portfolio strategy. And then I'm going to start paper trading. So once I finish this stuff and I'm really confident in my model, I'm going to paper trade the model for a month. And if it's performing well, then I'm going to go live using real money. So if you're interested in any of that, please subscribe. Like I said, it helps me out if you go to the GitHub here. The link's in the description. Star it, watch it, follow me on GitHub. Subscribing really helps. Also join the Discord. There's interesting stuff there, but that's all I've done for today. I'm going to be working more on this tomorrow. I work on this every day. So have a great rest of your night. It's almost midnight here, so I'm going to go to bed. Adios. once I finish this stuff and I'm really confident in my model, I'm going to paper trade the model for a month. And if it's performing well, then I'm going to go live using real money. So if you're interested in any of that, please subscribe. Like I said, it helps me out if you go to the GitHub here. The link's in the description. Star it, watch it, follow me on GitHub.